My season, Star Season's good with y'all, man. Back with another video. I know. I said I was gonna continue the Starseed series. Don't worry, I will. I just wanted to talk regularly to y'all, man. I haven't talked regularly to y'all in a hot minute. Excuse me. It's like a video default every time I get on here. But yeah, I just want to come in here and talk to y'all, man. You know, ain't really checked in on y'all in about a couple of months. Like I said before in the last video, hit a hole. Yeah, man, I hope everybody's good, man. Hope y'all good out there. You know. But yeah. You know, I've been getting back in my reading, you know, a little bit. Doing some research, you know. So I've been doing a lot of research about the tree of life. And, you know, I don't know if you ever had this happen to you before, but like once you are interested in something, or it seems like you got a motive behind something, information just hit you like that. You feel what I'm saying? I remember the first time it happened to me when I started sun gazing. When I started sun gazing, I was sun gazing for like, I was sun gazing and I was meditating for like 30 minutes. And that was the first time it happened to me where I would start researching stuff and shit just fall into order. And once I researched it, bring me to something more in depth than what I was researching, or I read a book that's pertaining to what I was researching, and then it's like almost life gives me a test, or gives you a test of some sort, like yeah, life is like a test. It's like a game. So you get prepared for it, right? That's your research. You get prepared for it. Once you accumulate all of the knowledge, you will put to the test. Like for instance, if you practicing sex transmutation, trying to transmute your sexual energy for some bigger purpose, right? Say you've been learning about it, what it is, and you accumulate all this knowledge, and then once you go out in the social world, you get tested. And it's basically like the same thing. And I've been reading a lot about the tree of life. I don't memorize the tree of life yet, but I will. But yeah, I was watching, I think I stated this in the video before, but I was watching Black Clover, which is an anime series or anime. And during the end credit, they showed the tree of life. And some guy talking to, it was like, what you call it? It was on a tablet. The tree of life was on the tablet, a stone tablet, and a guy was talking to it in a cloak, what you call it? Cloaked robe, or whatever robe you call it. And he was in a black robe with a hood over his head, and he was talking to the tree of life, which was on a stone tablet. And and something just hit me in my head. I was like, wait a minute, was that the tree of life? So then I started researching, because I've heard of the tree of life before, and I started researching it. And now and you see how, so this is how the process went. I started researching the tree of life, and about how what's the importance, what's the meaning of the tree of life, right? And from my understanding, basically the tree of life is the buildup of your sexual energy. And it's also the tree of life which they mention in the Bible, I believe. So I started researching the tree of life, and I came across an article, I want to say on Reddit. And it's kind of funny because Reddit really not reliable. So I went on Reddit, read a couple articles, and this guy, he broke down like the process, the tree of life. And I knew what he was saying was legit. And I was reading it, right? And I became more curious as I read it. And he put a video in between the article where he wrote. And that video, I watched that video after I read the article like twice. I want to say I saved the article on my phone. And the YouTube video that he put in between the article was the Gnostic teachings of sex, which I've never heard before. I ain't never heard the word of Gnostic before until I came across this YouTube video. And so I clicked on the video. It's about an hour and 15 minutes long, hour 20 minutes, hour and some change long. And I sat there and I was intrigued. My mind was blown after I watched that video. And I had to backtrack a little bit. Before I seen the Tree of Life on the anime, I was for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's safe to call it my sixth sense that told me this, or my intuition told me this, but I just started thinking like, are we really supposed to release our semen at all? And my answer came within that video. So in the video, it was talking about the Tree of Life and how Adam and Eve were only supposed to eat from, I want to say, the Tree of Knowledge. I think that's what it's called, the Tree of Knowledge. If I'm not correct me. But it was the Tree of Knowledge, and it was the Tree of Life. And they was only supposed to eat from the Tree of Knowledge. I can't remember which tree it was, but you know which tree I'm talking about. And instead, they ate from the other tree. And that other tree had the apple, which we all know that Adam and Eve ate, which doomed them to a life full of sin. And then that's when they started having shame because they were naked, but they was already naked. They didn't even know. So what that tree, that apple represented was sex. So basically, when they indulged in sex, that's when they entered the world of sin. And that's when they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So basically, the Tree of Life is about retaining that sexual energy. And basically, the Gnostic teaching was saying that we're really not supposed to have sex. And they didn't say this in the video, but I've heard that during research, I've heard that we're really not supposed to have sex at all, because sex is basically the action of the lower animals. And if you think about it, because also with the research that I've been doing, I've been reading Think and Grow Rich, and this chapter, ever since I read Think and Grow Rich, this chapter has stood out to me, and I think I know why. It's to teach me this lesson that I failed to learn when I was younger, which is the mystery of sex transmutation. Is a chapter in Think and Grow Rich. Now, I've always wondered, Napoleon Hill has an audiobook where he's referring to all the chapters except for sex transmutation. Now, I found that very awkward. Because I'm like, okay, so why would he talk about all the chapters except for this? Like, all the chapters, it's on Apple Music. All the chapters that he has, he talks about in like a seminar way, except for sex transmutation. And I was thinking, like, why is that? Like, and even on YouTube, there's other people talking about it, but it's not him talking about it. But he talks about every other chapter, which was weird to me. And I'm like, why does he go in depth? Because he go in depth by every other chapter except for sex transmutation. And I believe that they really trying to hide that knowledge, because once you hold your sperm, your semen, that is all your creative energy. It's all of your creative energy. You have all that creative energy to do whatever that you dreamed of doing. You have to put all that energy into what you want to do in your life. And then there's a section in sex transmutation that talks about why men are not educated on this, because they don't put this type of information out there. Like, think about it, we never learned this in school, period. We don't even learn this in college. Well, I have never heard of it. I guess it depends on what type of classes, because some education is a little bit higher in college. It's basically the same thing, but they just feed you little by little. They don't tell you the whole thing, right? Say, for instance, I had a psychology class, and it talked about Sigmund Freud, the psychologist, right? About his sex theory. But they never taught us that he participated in sex transmutation. They didn't even tell us that. Like, why would they leave that information out? Because they knew that information is powerful. That is, knowledge is power. That information is powerful. They don't want that to get out, because that type of knowledge is so powerful, bro. And with that type of knowledge, you can do anything. Like, think about all the guys, I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about in the section or the chapter of the sex transmutation. But think about all the guys that, and that's the thing, another thing about Tree of Life. Once you obtain your sexual energy, the Tree of Life, and it's 9 sections to the Tree of Life. Think about it, and it takes 9 months to create a life, the Tree of Life. Once you retain that energy, you have the Tree of Life energy, and you can become immortal off of that energy. Think about all the guys that are immortal. Think about Kobe Bryant. He is immortal. We will never stop talking about Kobe Bryant. Even though he's deceased, we'll never stop talking about Kobe Bryant. Matter of fact, another guy that's immortal, Bob Proctor, he died recently. I want to say February 3rd, he died. Immortal. Mozart, aka Wolfgang, immortal. They still talking about, to this day, he died in the 17th century. Immortal. Thomas Jefferson, immortal. Well, he was, I guess I could leave him out of that. Who else? But it's a lot of guys that are immortal because they understood sex transmutation. So my advice to you all is to, once you find what you want to do, focus only on that one thing, because the women, they are going to come. It's going to be natural because you only focus on that one thing. So women are going to come naturally. They're just going to flock to you naturally because you hold so much magnetic energy. You're an electromagnetic being. So they're going to be drawn to you. You get it? So women are no worry. And that is most of the average man's problem is they're chasing women. No, you don't chase women. You chase your purpose. You chase your calling. You chase whatever you focus on. The women will come. But you still have to protect your sexual energy. That's the whole point. Because women are going to try to, they want that energy that you're holding. So it's your job to protect your energy. Like, there's nothing wrong with having, it's supposed to be like that anyway. You're supposed to have multiple women. You're supposed to have multiple options. You're supposed to. As an alpha male, you're supposed to have multiple women. You're supposed to have multiple options. You just gotta know how to preserve your energy. So, but going back to the section in sex transmutation about how men really don't obtain their purpose, their success until they hit the age of 40, is because of overindulgence in sex. Either you're wasting it by watching porn, which was I was doing. Wasn't, because for me, women, I always believed that it's better things it was better things out in this world other than pussy. I always believed in that. It was better things other than pussy out in this world. Like, and dudes just like praise it so much. I'm just like, okay, but you want an award for getting so much pussy? Like, you ain't gonna get no money getting pussy. Like, unless you a porn star or something. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I've never been that type of guy. Like, I always thought that, you know what I'm saying, it's more to this world than just pussy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I always thought about that. But the thing was that even though I had that mindset, I still was wasting my energy. I still didn't put the energy towards what I really wanted to do. So now I am learning that that's what I need to do instead of wasting it. So, and back to what the section about how men seldom reach success before the age of 40 is because the overindulgence of sex, because they chase pussy, because they think that's just, but that's because that's what everybody else does. That's the average man does. He chase pussy. But that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to chase your purpose, and the pussy will come to you. Excuse me. And plus, a lot of men don't know that once you retain that sexual energy, to use it towards what you really want to do in life. And I believe that's why I'm here talking to y'all now, to educate you guys on these things. Because don't get me wrong, getting a pussy, there's nothing wrong with it. Long as you don't overindulge in it, long as you don't do that, long as you don't fall off your purpose, long as you don't, get so deep in to where you just live in a blur. Like, don't just get so deep in where you fall off your purpose, pretty much. And that's the whole point of being an alpha male. Just don't fall off your purpose. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting pussy. Just don't fall off your purpose. Because pussy is everywhere. You can get pussy. You can attract pussy naturally. So, but I'm going to end it on that note right there, guys. Make sure y'all take care of your body, your minds, and your souls. Make sure you live every day like it's your last. Take every moment as an opportunity to become better. All right, man. I'm out, y'all. Love. Peace.